Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Kathleen Choi. Today, we celebrate two inspiring forces for change. First, we are honored to spotlight a remarkable group of Asian and Pacific Islander men and women who proudly serve in the San Diego Police Department. Officers who are making a real difference in our communities, especially in the lives of underserved youth. Later in the show, we'll meet an entrepreneur who has transformed a once troubled path in life into a story of reinvention and success. Those stories and more coming up next on Asian Pacific Voices. We're proud to introduce you to a vital force for inclusion and unity in San Diego's law enforcement community, the San Diego Pan-Pacific Law Enforcement Association, also known as PanPac. Established in 1993, PanPac supports officers of Asian and Pacific Islander descent, while serving as a cultural bridge to the communities they protect. Through mentorship, scholarships, translation support, and robust community outreach, this organization promotes understanding, trust, and collaboration between law enforcement and San Diego's diverse API communities. By nurturing future leaders and strengthening bonds on both sides of the wedge, PanPac embodies the best of public service, bringing law enforcement and community closer together.
So I wanted to become a police officer at a very young age. When I was 8 years old, I remember thinking, I want to be a police officer one day, but I don't see people like myself.
I knew that I wanted to be part of the solution to protect those that couldn't protect themselves.
I got to meet some people along the way that had a lot of influence on where I'm at right now, the San Diego Police Department.
It's more a sense of service, just to continue what I can do from serving in the military, something that I can give back to the community.
Since the age of 18, this was my dream to become a police officer, but I really didn't know how to become a police officer. I am from Guam and the Philippines. My family and I traveled all around the world, but we finally settled in San Diego. And so I worked here, lived here, had my kids here, and then eventually became a police officer here.
Family members were all in military or in law enforcement as I grew up, so I had the privilege of seeing that type of job, and my parents were really into serving others, so I learned that early on. The best way to support other people is to serve.
I've always had a heart for helping people, and since in high school and college, I've been to different underdeveloped countries and helped and volunteered, so I think that's what stirred me into that direction as well.
Born, raised, educated in the Philippines, and then came back to San Diego, joined the military, served in the U.S. Navy for about 8 years, and then pursued a career in law enforcement afterwards. So.
Being the only Asian female in my academy class, you have to come into this profession with a fairly healthy ego and a fairly healthy self-confidence and belief in yourself. So once I overcame the insecurities, it was all mental, getting through the fitness, getting through the education pieces, firearm trainings. as long as you had the right mindset. And once I got into the right mindset, I was able to succeed.
I've been able to provide for myself, my family, my future. I felt like I've met the greatest people in my life as an extension of this department, so I love it.
I love working for the San Diego Police Department and being a police officer. I tell everyone, I'm in the backgrounds and recruiting unit, and I tell my applicants that this is going to be like no other job you've experienced before, like how rewarding it is, how you get to be the first person that somebody sees on their worst day, and that you're there to represent the department and the community and show them, like, basically like help them. In other professions, you don't really get to see that. Even for the fire department, they wait for us to clear the scene first to make it safe. So we're exposed to a lot of different calls, and it's just an honor to be able to represent the city in that way.
Well, one of the things when I first came on in the 90s, there weren't a lot of role models. There weren't a lot of people that we could attach ourselves to, that we could have mentors. But there was a great Asian Pacific Islander community in San Diego, which really had an impact on me.
The San Diego Pan-Pacific Law Enforcement Association, well, we were established in 1993. So unfortunately, when we were established, it came from a very negative background, right? So one of our sergeants at the time, our first Korean sergeant at the time, had some issues because of probably something that he didn't get enough support. Like in the culture, Asian culture, not understanding basically with the San Diego Police Department. He didn't feel like he didn't have any support as far as what he was struggling with, whether he was struggling with, people making fun of him, or saying that he doesn't deserve it, or what we go to, like, you got promoted because you're Asian and all those other things. So at the time, he kind of dealt with the pressure in a negative way and took his life. So that was kind of the wake-up call for all the Asian Pacific Islanders in the department. So the founding members at the time, they paved the way for us right now, right? So today's world, they paved the way because they got together and they saw the need that there should be an association that has this kind of networking to where we not only support each other, but we need to let the San Diego Police Department, the department at the time, understand that, we have different cultures, we have different beliefs, that, how we take things, right? So understanding more of the Asian culture, Asian Pacific culture.
I think we've come a long way from the 1990s. Out of something that was so tragic, it became something so great when we look and we fast forward, because it's helped hundreds of officers along the way. We're always about wellness, we're always about support, we're always about family, ohana we call it, and we want to make sure that we share that aloha spirit with everyone.
One of the things that I encourage young people to do, especially if they're interested in law enforcement, maybe they don't see themselves in that role, is to do their research, to ask people that are doing the job, right? Luckily now, these young people live in 2025. It's a little bit different than when I grew up. It was harder to find that information.
So I've been really impressed at them reaching out to our API community, as well as our other communities of color. And we've been seeing more and more women come in as recruits and brand new police officers. So that's very encouraging.
One of our missions is to make sure that we mirror the community that we serve. So that means that we need to grow the population or the numbers of Asian Pacific Islanders within the San Diego Police Department, because our numbers need to match the community.
When you look at where we were and where we're at right now, over 500 plus members, we're actually known nationwide, and we belong to the National Asian Peace Officers Association. So we come together as a group throughout the country once a year, and we have this great, huge conference.
I feel like when you become a police officer, you definitely have learned to communicate better and become a better listener as well. And some of the perks for me personally is having, being around great leaders and having that mentorship with, like sergeants and above, who are able to kind of guide you in the correct path and help you along your career.
What I plan on doing in the future and continue doing in my career is to uplift women in law enforcement, both professional and sworn. I'm a big proponent with supporting women who desire to pursue this career, especially women of color. We find that there is such a challenge for women of color to actually make that step and come into law enforcement. So when they do come into law enforcement, I want to be there, and I want to encourage other women in leadership positions to encourage them on promoting and finding themselves in leadership positions.
My dad was supportive, and it was because he wanted me to be in a profession where there weren't that many Asians, and he wanted me to trailblaze. And I know there was other Asians before me as well, but at the time when I was like in high school, there wasn't, and so he really pushed it. My mom, on the other hand, she was supportive, but she was very fearful and scared for me because I'm smaller and I'm female, and compared to other police officers who are big and have the size, and she was concerned. But I think over time, as she heard about my job and heard me telling stories, it kind of put her mind at ease, and now she doesn't bat an eye right now. Yeah.
It's a tough job, it's a challenging job, but it's the best job. It's rewarding, but you gotta be compassionate, you gotta be empathetic, you gotta be able to communicate with people, you gotta be able to represent your community, but impact everyone. You just never know who you're gonna touch every day, and that's why I tell people, you don't know who you're gonna impact.
We got more involved in different associations within the community, the Asian community. We made sure that our presence are out there just to kind of bridge that gap with the community as well. So right now, because of all those things that are combined, and also working with our recruiting unit, right? So one of our missions is to make sure that we mirror the community that we serve. So that means that we need to grow the population or the numbers of Asian Pacific Islanders within the San Diego Police Department, because our numbers need to match the community.
I'm Detective Sharon Yoon.
I'm Sergeant Jason Sue.
I am Lieutenant Carissa Doherty Edwards.
I'm Captain Alan Vito, and this is my voice.
We're heating things up as we introduce Anthony Bascos, the entrepreneur and visionary behind Prison Hot Sauce, who's transformed his life struggles into a spicy success. After spending a decade incarcerated, Anthony channeled his journey into crafting a bold, flavorful sauce that's more than just popular. It's a story of resilience and redemption. Anthony's zest for life, entrepreneurship, and community impact proves that no matter your past circumstances, everyone deserves a second chance at finding their passion and purpose in life.
I come from a Filipino background. I have a big family. I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters. All my relatives are here in San Diego, California. I come from a loving family. My mom and dad's been together for over 50 years. I was raised in Southeast San Diego, and junior high was the time when I started skipping class. I was influenced by doing drugs. I was influenced hanging around with people that are in gangs, and I started hanging around with people that that wasn't really looking out for me at the time, and I didn't realize that. So I chose that path of not caring about my family, not caring about myself, and just living that addictive fast life of using drugs, making money, and being around gangs. So in 2012, I got busted. The feds came to my door, broke down my room door, came inside, saw a lot of drugs, And I went in and I was in at MCC for a good 4 months until I got bailed out. And I was fighting my case, and I went to drug rehab because I was addicted to drugs. It helped me become a better man. It helped me be more responsible, focused, determined, and it showed me that life is to be loved. So when I was sentenced to 120 months is when I had a court date, and the judge was like, yeah, you got to do 120 months, which is 10 years. And it was very heartbreaking because seeing my family, my mom and dad, my sisters crying, I was like, man, I'm gonna be gone for 10 years. And it really broke my heart. So my time, I say it went smooth because I had a big family support system. My family was there to send me letters. My family was there to go and visit me every couple months. So it helped my time go smooth. The only thing is that I hardly got to see them. Just thinking about all the milestones that, that they're having outside of those prison walls, missing birthdays, graduations, and all those stuff that, that they go through in life. Just knowing that I'm missing that, it just hurts. For me, I was reading a lot of books. I was going out to the weight pile a lot, working out, taking school classes, going to college, and just getting all these certificates that will help me better myself when I get out. Every Thursday during the chow hall, we would eat chicken. We had chicken, and everybody would bring their hot sauces. So I was like, you know what? What kind of hot sauce would I bring? And what I loved was chili oil, because when I eat pho, that was the main thing that I loved. And I love chili oil, and I put it on anything and everything. So I had a microwave in my cell, and I would use the microwave, and I would basically fry chili oil. And I remember I brought it to the chow hall, and everybody was like, hey, what sauce is that? I was like, some chili oil. I was like, can I have some? So I shared with everybody, and everybody was like, damn, this is so good. So I started just bottling it up, putting it in a peanut butter jar, and selling it on the yard in front of my cell. People would be like, hey, you got some sauce? And then I'll be like, yeah, and then they would give me a book of stamps for it. A book of stamps or some tuna, or yeah. So right when I got out of prison, I went to a halfway house, and the halfway house, I was looking for jobs. So this temp agency found me a job, and it was a shipping company that I worked at, and I was working there with an ankle bracelet. I worked there for 3 years. Throughout the 3 years, I was there on an ankle bracelet. I moved on up to a operations supervisor, and it just showed how much I changed, and it showed that I'm reliable and dependable, and that I'm willing to change. I came out. I was like, I'm gonna come out. I'm gonna change my whole life. I'm gonna make my own sauce, get it all FDA approved, licensed, and just turn my whole life around and just start selling it. Because a lot of people are gonna be so intrigued of what people eat in prison, and since I knew that people loved it in there, I was like, you know what? I think a lot of people are gonna love it out here in the world. So the brand is called Buscos. My last name is Anthony Bascos. My last name is Buscos. Sounds like Tabasco sauce. So I was like, you know what? Let's go with Buscos. And you gotta be a boss to live by the coast. And I came out with this sauce right here. It's called the Prison Hot Sauce. It's a chili garlic oil made with extra virgin olive oil. And it's good on anything and everything. I also got the Baja Cali. And it has cranberries, mangoes, and different kind of nuts in it. It's more the sweeter side of chili oil. And I also got this Spicy Boss jam. It's a strawberry jam that has a little kick to it, and it's good on like charcuterie, bread, waffles. Some people put on their fried chicken, burgers. So I am at several stores right now. I am at Cujo Eats. It's a Filipino spot in National City. I'm in Changdong. It's an Asian market, PB Poke House. I'm at 2 farmers markets in Otay Ranch. I'm looking for a community outreach at the moment right now. And for every hot sauce that I sell, this prison hot sauce, I plan on donating $1 to it. It's probably gonna be with juveniles and, just people that's going through that prison or county or juvenile hall. So I see my hot sauce being a household name. I see my hot sauce being in your pantry right next to your salt, your pepper, your soy sauce, everything that you use your seasoning for. And I see it in being in these major supermarkets like, Seafood City, 99 Ranch, Costco, Ralph's, anywhere you could think of that sells spices. So that's where I see my hot sauce. My line of hot sauces represents an underdog story of myself, of how strong I am, how I could overcome to become something great, and to show the world that someone could go to prison, come out, and change his whole life. So what I want to bring to the table is to show that not just kids, but adults that's going through the same trials and tribulations that I went through, that there is life and light at the end of the tunnel, because I'm a proven fact of it. So this is one of my favorite dishes that I used to make in federal prison. It's called a sushi bowl. So first, you get your rice. You only get half of it, and you put it on the bottom of your bowl. You get your furikake, and you squish it down to make on the bottom. You get your mayonnaise. You squirt it all over the rice. You spread it out evenly over the rice. You pour some of this furikake. It's a seaweed. I use about three packs of it. Get everything out of there. Spread the tuna all the way around the bowl. And then you get your other rice. You throw it on top. And then you squish it down. And then you throw more mayonnaise. You move the mayonnaise around, all around the rice. You throw some furikake. And you also get chopped raw onions. And then also you get that prison hot sauce and you throw it in there and you just drizzle it. And this is your prison sushi bowl. The transition was more of how people look at me just because I came out of prison. So that's the whole stigma of how people perceive me, because yes, I did go to prison, but it's really about what you do after prison, right? For them to see me just went from a negative to positive, they show a lot of support. I did a whole 360. My advice is this: if you hang around with 9 broke dudes, you are gonna be the 10th one. If you hang out at the barbershop too long, you're gonna get your hair cut. So just surround yourself with positive people that love you and respect you and they want you to do good. So live through me. I did the time already. I know I made mistakes, and I just want to let you guys know that, that you could overcome anything and just follow your dreams and just stay out of trouble. Anthony Bascos, this is my voice.
Thank you for watching today's show. Don't forget to check out more episodes and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Kathleen Choi, and I'll see you next time on Asian Pacific Voices. Until then, take care, everyone. This program was made possible in part by the California Arts Council.